In the 1990s, artificial intelligence lived in a very small box. A computer could calculate enough moves to beat Garry Kasparov at chess, but outside of that narrow board, the technology was essentially useless. While studying at Cambridge, Demis Hassabis and Shane Legg looked past these single-use systems. They set out to build artificial general intelligence, a machine capable of learning anything. At the time, the idea was so radical that mentioning AI in academic circles was seen as a sign you weren't a serious scientist. Narrow AI operates on a fixed track, built to solve a specific problem using predefined rules. AGI requires a system with cognitive breadth, one that can adapt to entirely novel problems it hasn't been explicitly programmed for. To develop that kind of flexibility, the team at DeepMind needed a safe, diverse training ground. They needed a sandbox where an infant intelligence could explore and fail without real-world risks. They found that sandbox in classic Atari video games. These simple digital worlds provided the perfect simulation for a blank slate algorithm to begin interacting with an environment. DeepMind's algorithm was given no instructions on how to play. It was only fed raw pixels and a single directive: maximize the score. After thousands of rounds of random flailing, it began to learn the relationship between its actions and the points on the screen. The breakthrough came when the AI was left to play the game Breakout. On its own, it invented a superhuman strategy. It dug a tunnel around the side of the bricks to trap the ball behind the wall, clearing the level with maximum efficiency. Mastering Atari demonstrated that a machine could teach itself to dominate a digital world from scratch. But to prove the technology could handle real-world complexity, the team needed a much deeper challenge. After joining forces with Google, DeepMind gained access to the massive computational power required to target the ultimate test of intelligence, the ancient game of Go. Go is famously complex. There are more possible board configurations in the game than there are atoms in the universe, making it impossible to solve through simple brute force calculation. In 2016, AlphaGo faced world champion Lee Sedol in a match that many saw as a Sputnik moment for AI. For the first time, a machine was competing against one of the most creative human minds in a game thought to be incomputable. The shock came from how the machine actually played. During the second game, AlphaGo executed Move 37, a choice it calculated had a 1 in 10,000 chance of being played by a human. It was a creative, alien strategy that contradicted thousands of years of Go study. DeepMind pushed the logic further with AlphaZero. By stripping away all human data and learning purely through self-play, the system achieved superhuman mastery in chess and Go in a single day. This proved the AI could out-innovate human strategy. However, these successes were still limited to perfect information games, where every move and variable is visible on the board. Unlike a board game, the real world is messy and deceptive. It is filled with hidden information and threats that you cannot see. To bridge this gap, the team moved to StarCraft. This real-time strategy game requires thousands of split-second decisions, while the opponent's moves remain invisible behind a fog of war. This forced the algorithm to manage overlapping variables, navigate deception, and predict invisible threats based on incomplete data. The system had to learn to evaluate probabilities on the fly, constantly adapting its strategy as new pieces of the environment were gradually revealed. Conquering the chaos of StarCraft meant the AI was fluid and reactive enough to leave the world of games behind and face the physical world. This brought the team to their most significant target, the protein folding problem. Proteins are the machines of life, but their function depends entirely on how they fold into complex three-dimensional shapes. Predicting how a simple sequence of amino acids will fold is a staggering challenge. It is a biological puzzle that has stalled experimental laboratories for over 50 years. When DeepMind first entered the CASP protein folding competition, their gaming-based algorithms struggled. The rigid laws of physics and biology required a total re-engineering of their data pipeline. 2 years later, at CASP 14, the updated AlphaFold system achieved a level of accuracy that effectively solved the mystery. It could predict structures in minutes that previously took years of manual lab work. This success demonstrated that AI could move beyond mastering human games to solving a physical mystery of nature. It transformed the technology into a practical engine for biological discovery. DeepMind released the structures of 200 million proteins to the public, effectively mapping almost every protein known to science in a single month. But the ability to map biology is a dual-use capability. The same technology that can cure disease can also be used for military purposes, mass surveillance, and the generation of high-speed disinformation. The arrival of AGI is no longer a distant possibility. It is a reality that is accelerating faster than our current institutions are prepared to govern. This thinking game has moved beyond the screen to influence the building blocks of life itself. Our ability to coordinate and manage this tool will determine whether it solves our most complex scientific problems or creates risks that we cannot understand.